TYT Sports locked out. Ben Mankiewicz, Rick Strom behind the camera. I love this story because the New York Yankees have fired Reggie Jackson, and he doesn't even really work for them. He's a special advisor for the team, and he's been told not to come around these parts no more. Actually, an executive saying that it's not really the death penalty, but more of a cooling off period for Reggie. In case you haven't been following the story, very quickly, what Reggie said was this, and it couldn't possibly make more sense. Reggie said that A-Rod's numbers, and Alex Rodriguez and Reggie have been friends for some time, and Reggie in his capacity as general guy who kind of works for the Yankees. They've been friends for a while, and what Reggie said was that A-Rod's numbers are tainted because he admitted using performance-enhancing drugs. And the Yankees are livid. And he's also added that if any of these guys who've had the sort of taint of performance-enhancing drugs get elected to the Hall of Fame, obviously that would include A-Rod, then Reggie said there would be some kind of boycott by current Hall of Fame members. Hey, guess what? Reggie Jackson, 100% correct. You know, we have a fascinating Hall class coming up in 2013. Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, Mike Piazza, all on the Hall of Fame ballot. Obviously, the taint of steroids, very different for all those guys. Bonds, Sosa, and Clemens with more specific taint of steroids. Piazza has never, he admitted using whatever it's called. How do you pronounce that? Andro. He admitted using Andro, which is the same thing Mark McGwire admitted to. Early in his career, he's never admitted to using steroids. He's not in the Mitchell report. But there is a stigma around Mike Piazza that he did use steroids, although absolutely no proof exists. I keep reading that it is unlikely that Piazza, the best offensive catcher in baseball history, will get in on the first ballot. Whether these other guys make it at all, very curious. And Reggie makes a totally valid point. Let me give you some numbers to buttress the fact that these guys are not getting into the Hall of Fame right away. Mark McGwire, 20%, 19.5% last time. That's the percentage of baseball writers voting him into the Hall of Fame. Mark McGwire, by the way, 583 home runs and a 982 OPS. Would obviously walk right into the Hall of Fame without the steroid stain. Rafael Palmeiro, 12.6%. This is a guy with an OPS below 900, but 569 home runs. He'd be in. By the way, remember Juan Gonzalez? 4% for Juan Gonzalez. He didn't even get 5%. He won't be on the ballot anymore. Jose Canseco in 2007 got 1.1%. 1.1% for Jose Canseco, who seemed, obviously early in his career, halfway through his career, like an obvious Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He didn't make himself very likable.
No, he's the least likable person in the frickin' country, Jose Canseco. It's a totally fair point. Barry Bonds, you know, I had to look this up. Rick, we've talked about this before. Barry Bonds, you know, as a kid growing up being a baseball fan, there were numbers you knew, 714 home runs. That's how many home runs Babe Ruth hit. When Hank Aaron hit 715, it broke Babe Ruth's record. Aaron retired at 755. Those were numbers baseball fans knew. You don't know how many home runs Barry Bonds hit. I didn't know how many home runs Barry Bonds hit until I looked it up today. He hit 762. That's the record. He has an OPS of 1,051. Barry Bonds' OPS his last season was 1,045 at age 42. The guy is an unbelievable offensive machine. And it's going to be very curious how the Baseball Writers Association handles Bonds and Clemens now, obviously, and Piazza. Craig Biggio is going to be on the ballot. I have a feeling Craig Biggio is getting into the Hall of Fame. Interestingly, Jeff Bagwell, who hit a lot of home runs, comes from the same era. His percentage went up. It went up from in the 40s to 56 last time. Start to think that maybe Jeff Bagwell is going to get into the Hall of Fame, that maybe he'll hit 75%. But Reggie is right. Reggie said nothing wrong, and the Yankees have fired him for no reason. Let Reggie Jackson go back to his job doing nothing.